continuing cutting now. I think I'll take this time to um, discuss a bit on dieting because I got people asking me what's the best way to cut, what's the best way to bulk and whatever, right? And I want to say that there are a few key points that that you have to keep in mind when you cut. This is the clip, right? Become your diet, right? Don't look at your diet as some sort of an alienating force that's outside of yourself and your body and your being or your lifestyle, right? If there's a dissonance between how you are, what you want, and what your diet is, you're gonna not be successful in reaching your goals because you have to slowly immerse yourself within that diet. Well, one way to do this is first of all to cut slowly. I for this cut I think I was doing 300 calories less in the beginning and slowly worked my way up to about 1,000. So I was eating about 4,000 calories during my last bulk. And the start of this cut, which was I believe a month and a half ago, I started to eat about 3,500 to 700 calories. And then I slowly cut my weight down. I watch how I do in the weight room, and I watch how my weight fluctuate. Usually, I was going for 1 pound a week. I started losing weight a little bit faster towards the end because I was in LA. I was working on it a lot, and right now I think I'm doing 2,000, maybe probably 2,000, a little more or less depending on the situation. But if you immerse yourself slowly like that, like wearing the glove, like slowly putting your hand into the glove until you become the glove, until your hand can move with the glove, become the glove. That's what I feel when I was on the diet. It's like diet was like the glove. My hand was my body, and slowly, wearing the diet. And what that does is that when your diet is your enemy, is your alien force that's outside of yourself, you tend to resist it, right? You tend to reject it. See, the mind is an interesting organ when it comes to not wanting things, because the more you want something, the more you're gonna want it. It's not it. This is a biological or sort of like a neural automatic neural reaction, right? It's not that you have weak willpower and stuff like that. It's just how the way the brain is designed, right? The less you want to think about sex, the more the images of sex and desire pops up, right? That's why I'm really starting to think that monks really don't have much sexual desires, because if they really try really hard to avoid sexual desires and images of sex, they're not going to be able to meditate and become what they are. So they really reshape their brain. They weren't like no sex glove like I'm wearing the dieting glove, because I don't feel hungry at all. Like this time, before when I used to cut really fast, I feel hungry all the time. I feel like shit, right? And with this diet, I just felt like I was acting normally. I think the key is not even to know you're on a diet, not even to think that you're on a diet, right? And see, the psychologists did this experiment where they asked a group of people to not think of a white elephant or white bear, whatever, right? And then for the next few hours, whenever they talk to them, ask them to think about something else, they can't. In their mind, all they think about is the one thing that I told them to think about, right? One theory that I read is that your brain is basically operating on two tracks when you're trying to avoid something, when you're trying to reject something out of your mind, right? One track is the voice that's saying your willpower, saying, no, don't do this, don't think about eating carbs, don't think about sex. And the other track is actually activated, seeking after the things that you don't want to think about so that it can sort of avoid it, right? But then maybe your brain gets confused or whatever, I don't know, or the stronger that willpower is, the willpower track of trying to push that thought out of the way, the stronger the other track of seeking after those things that you try to reject is, right? So it's like a, sort of like a negative loop, or like this inverse kind of process going on, right? So the key is to not think really hard about the fact that you are on a diet and you can't eat this and you can't eat that, or blah 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 blah. That's why I'm starting to believe that if you're gonna eat the food that you hate, if you're gonna try as hard as you can to eat everything really clean and you hate the taste and you hate the fact that you're gonna die and you feel like shit, that's not gonna be a good way to cut. You know. Another thing, another reason why it isn't good to cut like that against your willpower is that willpower is like a brain and muscle that takes a lot of energy just to insert, right? See, willpower is like a muscle, as I said. Uh, if you work it, it's gonna exhaust it, right? There's many studies done by people who are mentally tired or physically tired, and they're more likely to give in to temptations. Like people who try to quit smoking, if they're under stress all the time at work or whatever in a relationship, they're more likely to give in and have smoke. So if you're tired all the time because your diet, you hate your diet sucks, and you have low energy, then you're actually more likely to indulge in the food that you don't want to partake in. And the third rule is to be around people that are actually cutting, because willpower is contagious. You know, if you're looking at, this is common sense. I don't even have to say it. People, if you're around smoker, it's harder to quit. The same thing with people that are eating junk food next to you. You know, if you have a group of people that are eating this, and they either because they're forcing to eat it because you accept their food because you don't want to be rude, or just the fact that when you're looking at them eating, your temptations start to overflow in your brain, and then you're gonna give in. So like, if you have friends that you live with or whatever, don't hang out with people that eat like shit, right? I think those are some of the key points.